rocket arm switch is on. Here comes the throttle. Circuit breakers in. We have separation.
Hi folks, I got my road fund licence reminder in this week, so that means at the end of this month, October, I will have had moose for 6 months. I can't really believe it's been that long already. It's flown in, I've enjoyed every minute, and I thought it'd be a good time to do a quick walkthrough of that 6 months of ownership. Tally up a few bills, outlays, and just to give you an idea of how much it costs to run one of these things. Looking through it, yeah, it sounds like a lot, the final tally, but bearing in mind most of that, 3/4 of the outlay that I'm going to go through is just add-ons for the bike. It's not actually running costs, it's just little add-ons over and above the cost of the bike, if that's what you want. It's not too bad, I suppose. So we'll crack on and I'll tally things up as we go. Right, so I'll quickly go through the list of the options when I bought Moose. Ergo seat was £132.96. Is it that much comfier? I don't know. I need to do a wee butt cheek to butt cheek test at some time in the spring probably. I don't know if it's any more comfortable. It certainly looks a bit sharper, but I think it might be better for track, for moving about the bike. Certainly after doing the NC 500 this year, my butt wasn't able to tell the difference between that and the standard seat, and I've got a funny feeling that the standard seat's probably a bit softer and more cushioned. So £132.96 for a maybe more comfortable seat. Is it worth that? The pillion seat cowl, £107.88. It's a lot of money. But I do like the look of it. I think it changed the look of the bike drastically. It doesn't have that awkward step up in the tail that the pillion seat had, so I would definitely buy that again. The graphics kit, it was only £82.80. It does look good. Again, there are other ones in the market now, so, and they cover much more of the bike, so it's up to you. Have a look around, see what you think. I like it. It protects the plastics a bit. The belly pan, or is it a fairing they call it? It's a skinny little thing. It's only £66.12, but you don't really notice it. It's in a matte black kind of rough finish. It does protect things in the bottom a little bit, but it doesn't stand out as much as I thought it would, and I've got a funny feeling I will be painting that over the winter time with some KTM orange. Mirrors, as you know, I like them a lot. They sharpen up the look of the bike. It doesn't look so toury. So they were £165.60 for the pair. Heated grips, £166.44. And yeah, they have been a godsend already. The few times that I've been out, yeah, I really like having them. I wish I'd actually bought them years ago, and I think every bike that I buy from now on I'll probably have. Although, as a few of you have pointed out, they really should be standard kit nowadays. You can buy a BMW S1000R and they're on there, and it costs a little bit more, but as you'll see from my total, by the time I've added everything to my bike, it's right up there with the cost of the BM. So is it worth it? I think they should have these as standard. My USB outlet charger unit, that, as you know, is still at the dealership. I'm no real rush for that now, and for £41.04, I could probably live without that. I've ordered it now, I've paid for it, so I will have it fitted. But you saw what I did for the NC500. I just cable tied a power bank onto the bars, and that did fine for the day. It's not an issue. If you're touring Europe or lucky enough to do lots of big miles, then yeah, it's probably worth the 40 odd pounds. It's not a biggie. What isn't worth £751.68 though is the Akrapovic slip-on can. Yeah, I've done a couple of videos on that now. I am still a bit sore about it. I do like the look. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I know everyone's saying, oh, I prefer the look of X, Y or Z, but I do like the look of it. I'm not just saying that, but I will admit I'm disappointed with the noise or lack of. I've still got my little cut off Acra on there just now. I've been using that. I am thinking about drilling out the rivets. I found a couple of new videos on other models, but same idea of can. And I am seriously thinking about drilling out the little rivets and seeing if I can get at the baffle. So obviously if I do that, there'll be another video. So for those few items that I added to the bike when I bought it, and I was kind of like everyone, I was on the configurator going through things and saying, oh, I can live with that and I can't live without that. So I was adding things, taking them off until I was happy with my budget. So for all of those parts listed, I was £1,514.52, which is a lot of money. Bearing in mind, half of that was on a very quiet slip-on exhaust. Yeah, so like I say, I'll blow my cash so you don't have to. If it helps you make a decision and avoid the pitfalls, then all good to you. Road fund license, a year here in the UK for this class of bike is, well, for the bike is £88 on the nose, and it's an awkward time of year. I probably could do 6 months, but it's going to sit in the garage anyway. So anyway, for all it costs, £88 isn't a huge outlay for the fun that you're having. So adding that onto my parts total, that's £1,602.52. The next outlay I had was the first service way back when she was running at 600 miles. So that was £176.88. So that brings my total up to £1,779.40. And then the last big blowout we had there last month was for the Michelin Road 5 tyres, which have been fantastic. They are confidence inspiring, even to an average rider like I am. In damp conditions, I'm kind of pushing on probably a good bit harder than I would normally trust myself to do. They were £270.60. That was fitted and balanced. I never did anything. That was bike in, wheels off, etc. So that brought my total outlay, not including fuel, to £2,050 on the nose for that 6 months. Obviously, the next 6 months would only be maybe tyres and my annual service, which is, I think they've evened it out, so there's no surprises. It won't be any more than £200. So yeah, maybe tyres and a service. And look, who am I kidding? I'm definitely going to buy more parts. I'm already looking at the tail tidy, painting the belly pan, maybe a fly screen, headlight protector definitely, and after McRib's fiasco on the NC500, definitely a radiator guard. For all they cost, it's probably worth that small outlay. And KTM, as you know, Power Parts do loads of tasty little orange blingy bits that don't make your bike go any quicker or had any performance, but they look good, so I'll probably get those as stocking fillers, I would think, this year. And if I put any of these parts over the quiet season, over the winter, I'll fling up a video and you can have a look at that, hopefully. Summing up Moose, he's probably, I would say, it's the best bike I've ever had. I was seriously into my old MV Agusta dragster that I had. Talk about feeling low. I sold the dragster last month, and there's nothing worse than watching somebody riding down your drive and off into the distance on a bike that you really enjoyed having. So it's probably the longest I've ever owned a bike, and yeah, the old heartstrings were getting pulled as he rode off on it. But yeah, I'd say Moose is probably the best bike I've had. Very comfortable, real world performance. I mean, it's not overwhelming power or anything like that, but I've never been into liter bikes, so he does me fine. I feel like I'm riding the bike rather than the bike riding me, so to speak. A really practical bike, a good all-rounder, can do most things. You could probably go on a little tour on it. If you put on a tank bag and a backpack, you'll be fine. It's been very reliable so far. I know some people say they've had oil leaks or whatnot. I've not had any problems at all. Starts every time. Not find any loose nuts and bolts apart from, as I said, the very first ride home with the mirrors, but you know, that's just one of those things. Everything else has been fine. Not a great looking bike, I'll admit. It's compared with the Super Duke, which I just think looks like it's on steroids. It looks a bit lightweight. It's kind of got that kind of awkward look about it. Like I say, not beautiful, not like the dragster. I've never had anyone coming up when I've parked it and said, "Oh wow, what's that? Oh, is that one of the new 790 Dukes?" But I still like it a lot. It's a kind of stealth bike, I suppose. One last thing before I go. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thanks to everyone that's in touch. Kind of makes the ownership thing a bit more enjoyable too. Quite a few regulars in touch asking about the bike and asking what I would recommend. I'm no expert, I'm just a normal person that's happened to bought this model, and I thought I would keep a little diary on it. Yeah, so thanks folks for your questions, and I think 99.9 of you have all been very polite and had a good laugh with each other. So yeah, it'd be good to keep in touch over the winter when things kind of chill out a bit more than they are just now. And if you find any good videos, just fire in a link and I'll have a look at them too. I'm like you guys, I'm always having a rake through YouTube looking for any new videos or any new products, and any advice as well, because you know, I don't know much about bikes. I'm not very mechanically minded, so if you've got any advice for me on how to fit things or things to look out for, any issues you've had with your bikes, that'd be good to know as well. And it's good for everyone else to have somewhere to come and have a look and find out those things too. Anyway, take care and I'll see you about.